The tea is you are a little too intimate with too many people out here on these internet streets, my guys, my girls, my theys, my thems. And that is why you are most likely disconnected from your body. You're stuck on autopilot. You are numb. And you do not trust your power because there are too many influences zapping away at you. We are living in a moment where you might have this toxic intimacy going on in your everyday life due to social media, due to what you're watching on the news, due to the images that you see daily, due to what you are listening to. All of that plays a role on how you feel about your body. So if you are the strong one, if you're high functioning, high achiever, all of these things, you're the healers of the world, just know that you're going to be able to shift what happens with your body by shifting your commitment to intimacy. And I want you to focus on intimacy by being very mindful about what you watch. Be mindful about the music that you're listening to. Be mindful about how you engage with strangers on the internet, with people you follow. What pages are you following? How are you directing the algorithm? This is the fastest and easiest way to stop feeling numb and to stop feeling disconnected. I wrote this for you. So many powerful, high-functioning women, healers, leaders are constantly in intimacy, but they don't even realize it. They're plugged into social media, they're scrolling, they're plugged into the news because they want to be informed, they want to know what's going on in the world, and they are absorbing other people's emotions, expectations. You're absorbing energy. Every single time you are connecting, right now we are connecting through a powerful energetic force field, right? And every time you watch the news, every time you watch Law and Order, every time you watch a murder mystery, or you look at traumatic images, that is helping you stay disconnected. You are overstimulated, you're overextended, and this is what makes you disconnected. Let's talk about how it shows up in your home and at work. And also, those of you who are staying, I'm going to give you a quick little exercise towards the end to help you identify where these leaks are coming from, where you're disconnected and why, and how we're going to solve it. And this practice you can do on your own. You also can join me on Thursday at 1 p.m. if you want to come to my free webinar. Just DM me the word webinar. Let's talk about how this shows up at home, right? At home, you're like, okay, I just got off of work. I just helped the world. I just helped all these people. Now let me just relax by scrolling, right? And if you're like me, scrolling is going to be inspirational because I have trained the algorithm to only show me entrepreneurs who are doing well. It will only show me healers. It will only show me people who are artists, who are creatives. I make sure that this algorithm will only inspire me. I have trained it not to trigger me, right? If I wanted to be triggered, I would just go spend time with my family. Okay, am I right? It shows up in not all of my family. If any family is watching, I got some cousins that I absolutely love. But when you're at home, it shows up by making you feel drained and you don't know why. You might start to feel disconnected from your body. You're numb. You're disconnected from your pleasure, your truth, your sensuality. You might start to feel guilty or feel ashamed of even wanting to have a moment of kindness and tenderness towards yourself. Now, at work, if you work for yourself or you work for others, this is going to show up by you overgiving, right? This is going to show up by you overperforming, especially if you are a Black woman. Now, I'm sure other races deal with this, but I can only speak from the Black woman experience, right? And those of you who have experienced this, let me know in the comment section. But, you know, I was taught the lie that I have to be twice as good to get half. So when you have been taught that you have to constantly give, that you have to be twice as good to get half of what other people gain, then of course you're going to be disconnected from your body because you're always on autopilot to be the strong one. Latoya! This is also going to show up as you carrying emotional weight that doesn't belong to you. You might even start to struggle to hear your own voice, right? And now I want to show you a practice to get you the hell out of that. If you are with me, say get out in the comments. So I know y'all are here. We're going to talk about getting out of this practice to where you are constantly numb, right? And one way, again, to get out of being numb and disconnected from your body is to limit your time on social media. And if you're going to be on social media, make sure that you are training the algorithm to show you things that inspire you. If you are going to watch the news, don't limit it just to doom news, right? You have to seek out the good news around the world, because again, there's so many powerful people around the world. Evil just has a better press agent. So this is what I want you all to do to come back home to your body. You're going to grab some paper, okay? And I want you to get clear on where these energy leaks are coming from. And so to do that, you're going to tap into your why and your desires, right? And you can try this now if you can, or you can try it later on your own. I'm going to share this recording. So what you're going to do is take a piece of paper, okay? You all can see that I did one. And on the first side, you're going to put a triangle. And on the back, you're going to put a little heart. Now, don't judge a girl. She's not an artiste. I don't draw that way, okay? And this is what you want to do. I want you to mind map how you feel about your body. We're going to actually break down where you don't want to be. And you can say, I don't want to do this as a woman. I don't want to do this as a strong woman. I don't want to feel this way as a sensual being. Whatever it is that you do not want, you have to name it, because we cannot heal what we do not acknowledge. So the first thing that you want to do is where I don't want to be, right? And so here are some examples. Here's some things that I wrote, right? I don't want to risk my health. I don't want to grind, right? I want to enjoy the work that I'm doing. I don't want to be unaligned with my path, right? I don't want to be a person who lacks boundaries. I don't want to be stuck in survival, okay? I don't want to be afraid of my new identity. I don't want to be stuck in the mother role, right? Without boundaries. I don't want to be filled with shame or guilt. I don't want to be stuck in fight or flight, right? I wrote this one down too. I think a lot of people can resonate with this. I said, I don't want to be afraid my best days are behind me, right? Because we all kind of have been conditioned, especially young girls. We're taught, baby, once you hit 40, that's it. But I'm finding at 46 that this is actually where my power is being activated, right? So that's the first side of this beautiful piece of paper that you're going to have for yourself, right? And again, we're mapping out how we want to have a connection with our body, because you have to work at it, y'all. You allow yourself to have a blueprint to go to school. You get a work manual. If you are a CEO or an entrepreneur, you have a work manual that you give to your employees, right? There's a manual for everything. And we need to give ourselves grace, because we didn't get a manual for our connection to our body or our power, okay? The opposite. Then in the back, I want you to draw a heart, okay? And in that heart, I want you to say, my wholeness. I want you to actually write down what your wholeness is. And those of you who are joining me live, feel free in the comment, if you feel comfortable, even if you can't do the journal prompt right now, what is something that would make you feel whole right now? Or what is something that, you don't want to do anymore? And you can just write, I don't want to dishonor my boundaries. I don't want to be in lack. I don't want to fear this new chapter. Whatever it is, claim it in the comments, yeah? Let's talk about your wholeness, right? You can put this there too. So I wrote my wholeness. What does your wholeness actually, what does it look like to you? So a lot of people, when I do this exercise with them, the women will write, wholeness to me requires balance. Wholeness requires orgasmic experiences. And I want you all to think about, what is an orgasmic experience for you outside of the bedroom, outside of service, outside of performing, outside of giving yourself to someone else, right? Wholeness is communication. Wholeness is full expression. Wholeness is embodiment, right? And so I wrote, my wholeness is a provider for myself. I know how to show up for thousands of people, and I want to make sure I never neglect myself, right? Wholeness for me is I am a woman who made the conscious decision not to have children, not to be married, to focus on my ancestral assignment, my alignment, and I'm very happy in that, right? My wholeness requires that I be bold, yeah? Like right now, showing up for you all. My wholeness requires faith in myself. My wholeness requires glamour, okay? Transformation. And a woman who honors her boundaries with her family, both chosen and blood. And my wholeness is a woman who honors both her creative and business dreams. So again, when you are making the decision, you're like, I'm going to be on this healing journey, but I've already done the shadow work. You know, I'm already working with a therapist, and now I want to get out of my head and get back into my body. You got to name what you want to do. The same way we name what we want to do for our education. We name what we want to do for our community. You know, you get the point. And so you have to start with your connection with your body. You want to feel more sensual. You want to feel more liberated. You have to start in your mind, because the body cannot move until what the brain tells it to. So when I work with all of these strong women, these leaders, these healers of the world, I always remind them, but what's going on here? We have to start here. So again, your assignment is to focus on mind mapping today. And you're going to get a piece of paper. You're going to draw a triangle on one side in the center of the page, and you're going to say where I don't want to be, right? And then on the back, a beautiful big heart. And then you're going to say my wholeness is, and you're going to go through everything, all right? And this is why I'm doing this work, y'all. This is why I'm honoring my assignment to be a sensual Jiminy Cricket. I want to make sure I do my part to stop the strong ones, to stop the high functioning people, to stop the healers and the nurturers, the sensual coaches of the world, to stop being on autopilot to survive. Okay, not on my watch. We're not going to do it. So I have created all these sacred practices for you. Again, feel free to do this one on your own. And if you're free on Thursday, come through. I'm hosting an online webinar at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you can't make it live, sign up for the recording. Just DM me the word webinar. And I'm going to show you some more sacred practices. These practices, you know, I like to say you can use these sacred practices before you walk into the boardroom, before you walk into the bedroom, or me time. And these are sacred practices that you can also start teaching the youth in your life, okay? So I hope to hear from y'all. Just DM me the word webinar and we can get into it. And these sacred practices, this is about releasing what's not yours. Okay, this is about reconnecting to your body, your truth, your femininity. I want to make sure we're not afraid of our femininity. Okay, that has to stop. And we're going to redefine intimacy, right? We're going to redefine all of these relationships that we have. And we're going to start by shifting how we interact online. We're going to start by being intentional. Train this algorithm to only show you things that inspire you if you want to start feeling more aligned and more embodied, more liberated. And also, the same way you watch the news that's traumatic to stay informed, be informed by also watching all of the powerful people around the world doing great things, right? There's so much power and beauty in the world. Look at yourself, look at your family, look at your loved ones. There's power, there's beauty, there's healing energy in this world. There are many moments of rainbows. You have to be willing to see them. You have to seek them out. All right, that's what we have for you all today. Again, I have webinars coming up on Thursdays at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and also the recording is available if you cannot make it live. Let's get into these sacred practices that you can incorporate into your daily life. All right, that's what I have for y'all today. Mwah.